Y'all, I'm in the middle of drama right now. Just look. Just look. I'm in the middle of it right now. Buddy is still going. He's whining and complaining because I have like a little bit of chest. Look at this. I have just a bit of chest on my character. And here they are. Oh, so I'm assuming stuff, am I? Okay, so... Hmm? Oh? Oh? Oh my God, what do you want now? Buddy, leave me alone. Stop going into that kitchen, Thomas. It's getting annoying. There's nothing in there for you. Oh my God. Y'all have to stop. Y'all need to leave me alone. I literally didn't even do nothing to y'all. I just got here and sat down, and here y'all are bothering me. Oh my God. Where did you get grooming from? Why are you just adding stuff?
Looking good is half the battle. GoDaddy gives you polish and performance. Start with the right domain from the world's #1 provider. AI-powered website, professional email, built-in marketing, all connected, all in sync. So you show up professional where it matters most. Because looking the part is the first step to owning it. And with GoDaddy,
Buddy. Buddy, who cares? Who cares? Who cares? No, it's not. See, this is exactly why it froze, because you're doing too much. It's because you're doing too much. It's exactly why my screen froze, because you're doing too much. It's exactly why my screen froze. Buddy, this is exactly why the whole Ponytown thing crashed, because you're doing too much. Because you're just talking too much, because you won't shut up. You have no idea how sick I am. And here you are, crashing out because of a pixel character. Like, is you serious, buddy? There are no kids on here. I totally reported Busty. And I really, oh my God, stop whispering me. Buddy. Buddy, you keep on talking about blocking. Well, you're not blocking me then. Nobody is talking about grooming, buddy. No one is talking about grooming. No one is talking about grooming. Stop harassing everybody. Why are you adding yourself to this? Go harass. You rage baited me? Wow, so... Oh, so you can pass that character? Well, wow, look at that. Look at that man right there. With all that chest out. With all of that chest out. All that chest. All of that. All of that chest out. All of that chest out. All of that chest out. And none of you are getting harassed. None of you are getting harassed. Look at that. That's my friend up there. And she also has chesticles. And they're not getting harassed. But you're only harassing me. Look at that. Now y'all got 3 people teaming up to me just because I got some tiny little characters out. Because you also got... Is you finally done? Are you finally done? I'm going to show you guys something. I'm not going to show you guys, but I'm going to read something real quick because this is how this guy started the entire conversation. I cannot show you, but I can read it. This person said, "May I suggest using neck accessories 11 instead of the cleavage? Sorry if this got sent to you because this is a copy and pasted message." And then I said, "May I suggest you leave people's designs alone?" And then he said, "Well, then y'all can stop sexualizing animals." And I said, "Since when did I sexualize an animal? I like this body because it represents my own." And then I said, "Not everyone does this for sexualization, buddy." And then he said, "By the way, please don't try to argue against it because it's literally sexualizing them." And I kept on trying to tell them that it's not. And then I literally said, "It's life. This is what a female's body looks like. You're going to see it for the rest of your life." And then this is when I started recording. And then, hold on, let me see. Let me go back. These 2 people right here, they started coming out of nowhere, even though one of them also have their cleavage hanging out. You can barely even see my cleavage. There's a character right here with his entire chest out, and not once did he say a thing. This girl has her chest out. This girl has her chest out. These 2 have their chest out. He has their chest out. She has her chest out. These 2 characters, my friend has her chest out. She 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 also has her chest out. She has her chest out. She's naked. She's naked. She has her chest out. All of these characters have their chest out, and yet you come after the only... He literally has her ass hanging out. They literally have their butt hanging out. And you're sitting right above them, and not once did you say a single word to them, but you make such a big, gigantic deal against me to the point where you add 2 other people into the drama. Like, look at this. Buddy, you did all of this. And even when I told you that I was sick, you still bothered me. Even when I told you that I didn't want you to bother me anymore. Even when I told you that I was tired and had asthma, you switched up for a little bit and said, "Oh, I hope you feel better." And then continued to complain about my body as if it hurts you or something. Buddy, let me show you something real quick. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. I'm not doing that. You see, what I'm doing is just having a freaking character just sit here. See, look. All my characters. All my characters. See, look at all these people. They're just sitting here. They're not causing harm. They're not doing anything. They're just existing. So, yeah, I understand that sometimes it could cause a little bit of controversy. But, bro, you harassing people over their fictional characters, and then this buddy right here kept on trying to tell me to leave them alone and walk away, as if his best pal wasn't disrespecting me and insulting me and making it seem like I was sexualizing a pixel character. Like, buddy, even Google said it's harmless. It's not harmless. It just depends on who's using it. And guess what? I use it for my own customization. I use it because I want to, because it's my body, because I can. It's my hands, and you legitimately don't tell me what to do. These are my hands. If there are children on this game who are also creating ponies like this, it's not... Oh my god, why are y'all still going? It's not up to me to tell kids not to put breasticles on their characters. It's their parents' job, and it's their brain cells' job to tell them, hey, I shouldn't be putting this on my character. I'm not their parent. I'm a child myself. So who am I to tell another kid that they can't put something on their character? Also, by the way, there's a female right there with a beautiful pair of zingy zaggies that's right above you, and you're saying nothing about it. That's crazy. Oh my god, so you've done it before? What? Girl, tell me the juice. Go ahead. Tell me. Tell me the juice. I need to know. I need to know the juice. Go ahead and give me more video footage of this man harassing people. Go ahead and tell me. Go ahead and tell me. Tell me the juice. Go ahead and tell me. I need to know. Auntie Luna need to know what this little harasser bitch told you. I need to know. I remember that. I'm not the first one they harassed. That is insane. Wow. Wow. Just wow. Wow. That is it. Wow, you turned into a Chinese girl. Wow. Just wow. Wow. You gonna stop harassing people and turn into a freaking Chinese woman. Okie dokie, buddy. Wow. That was something. And it's 1:35 at night. And I got Buddy disrespecting me for no reason, just because of my character design. And then I got another girl who's also been harassed by this man. Look how many chats. Just look. Look. Okay, so I said, shut the fuck up. Bro is triggered. And then he said, that's embarrassing. And I said, I'm not triggered. I'm sick with severe asthma, and you are legitimately messing with me right now. Over some pixels, no less. And then he said, well, I hope you feel better, but I'm just saying. And then I said, no, stop saying. He said, I pressed send too early. And then I said, it doesn't hurt you. And then he apologized and said, whoops. And then I told him to hush and stop messing with people. And then he was like, okay, dude, if you were so pressed about someone saying, please don't add cleavage to a horse, there's a lot of things wrong with that. And I said, who said I was pressed? I literally told you why I was so unhappy. And then he said, also, you know that the block button exists, right? You can use that. I'm just trying to make a point to you. And then I said, so then block me. Since you have an issue with me, block me. Use your own advice and shut up. And then I said, don't have an issue with you, just the fact that y'all love making up every excuse to have cleavage on a horse. And I said, how so? How do you add me into everyone else's group? And then he said, what do you mean? And then I said, it's not going to affect you in any kind of way, buddy. And then I said, you're literally going on a whole insane trip over some pixels. Calm down, man. And then I said, it isn't affecting me anyways. Trying to make a point to y'all seems to get all pressed. I just told you I'm sick, buddy. You're going around judging everyone around you over their character choices and then complaining when they don't like your attitude. And then I said, that's a lot. That says a lot about your character, buddy. And then he switched from talking about my body to talking about the fact that I call people buddy instead of girl or boy, because I don't want to misgender them. And then I said, and you seem to also, and you also can't seem to read properly, as I also said. And then I said, you seem to love to copy and paste comments on everyone's ponies like it's the end of the world. And then he said, okay, just assuming shit now, okay. And then I said, I literally read your entire paragraph, buddy. And then he said, again, the word buddy, what's that about? See how many this is? And then I said, is it hurting you? It's my body. I can and will have what I want on it. And then he said, you said that 5 times. And then I said, it's a pixel game. Nobody cares. He said, and again. And then I said, so did you. And then dude just went off and said, sexualizing a horse. And then I said, nobody is sexualizing anything. Dude, get a grip. And he said, oh, this is a safe server and you dress that way around kids. Buddy, every single one of these characters are teenagers. These two are 18 and 17 years old. Those are not a bunch of minors. And even if you were a minor, it wouldn't hurt you because you also have breasts on your characters too. So why are you crying so hard? And then I said, buddy, we're all teens. Nobody gives a crap. And even the kids cuss. I said, even the kids dress their pixels like this because it doesn't hurt them. And they don't care. And then he said, oh, they shouldn't be exposed to whatever y'all like to wear. And just because kids dress up like that doesn't make it okay. Let me remind you that I am not a parent. I am not somebody who can tell a kid what they can and cannot dress like. I'm not some role model, okay? I'm a role model to kids in real life. I'm not a role model to kids online like that. Like, if they're being sexualized, then yeah, I'll help them. If they're being sexually assaulted, yeah, I'll help them. If they're being bullied like you, then yeah, I'll help them. But if they're making their characters how they want to make their characters, I'm not going to sit here and have an issue with it. This character design has been here since 2019. Nobody cares then, and nobody is going to care now. And even if they do have breasts on their characters, it does not give you the right to start assuming stuff, bringing stuff up for no reason, talking about grooming and sexualization and all kinds of stuff that has nothing to do with the conversation. Because nobody in their bright mind was talking about grooming. Nobody. When I tell you I was talking about grooming, nobody was talking about grooming. Everybody in this library has the breasticles on their body, and not once did this man talk shit to any of them except for me and this other female. And it's also insane how, again, there was this guy who had all of his chesticles hanging out, who I was sitting behind the entire time, and not once did this man say anything about a man's chest. But he is always going around talking about females' chesticles. That's a little insane, don't you think? How you're always talking about a female's breast, but you're not talking about a man's breast? Wow. Are you sexist? You think that it's not okay for a female to have it out, but a man can? Wow, really? Is you sexist? Wow. Wow, you just sext missed. Wow, you just don't like people. Wow. Wow. Wow, buddy. Wow. You know what? Since you want to whine so bad about my character, cry about it. Cry about it. Come to my face and cry about it. See how far that gets you. Cry about the angel having a little bit of cleavage hanging out. Brusky, it's a line right there. It's a single line. You can't even barely know that it's a chesticle. It doesn't move. It doesn't do anything. It's just a chesticle. Like, buddy, it's not gonna hurt you. There is a literal demon with his chest out right now named Tomatoes. And you're not over there harassing them, but you're over here harassing me. Man, I swear, I've been coughing all day, all night, all Saturday morning, and all y'all been doing for the past hour or two has been bothering me about everything under the sun. Like, buddy, there is no reason to be crying this hard over some pixel characters. It's not going to hurt you. It's really not. Even Google said it itself. If I'm not hurting you, then what you crying for? If I was hurting you, then I would understand. If I was doing something stupid to you, then I would understand. But I'm not sexualizing anything. You just embarrassed yourself in front of everybody, by the way, buddy. You embarrassed yourself in front of everybody. Everybody on the internet. You embarrassed yourself in front of everybody on the internet. You hear me? Just so you can get your little point across. Let me remind you, nobody cares about your little point. There's so many grown adults on here. I just got into an argument with a 23-year-old not even a few hours ago. Half of these people are no longer children. Everybody in this life, look, buddy, look. Chesticles. Let's see something else. Let's see what's going on over here. Yep, my friend's over there with the chesticles. Let's see who else got their chesticles hanging out. Chesticles. Let's see who else got their chesticles hanging out, buddy. Let's see who else got their chesticles hanging out. Because who cares? Chesticles. Let's see who else got their chesticles hanging out. Because I want to see how many people he must have harassed in order to get a random person who I don't even know to say that he's been doing it. I need to know. I need to see. Who else got their chesticles hanging out? Nobody else? Okay. As you know, the library is full of people with their chesticles hanging out. So I bet that you harassed all of them in there. I bet you did. I bet you harassed almost everybody in that entire library. I bet you got on everybody's nerves. I bet you made everybody You know what? Because that straight was harassment right there. You know what? Obviously, you can't do that. Obviously, you can't do that. Obviously, you can't be kind to others. Obviously, you can't. Yeah, don't encourage behavior, guys. Don't encourage behavior, guys. Wow. So, you know what? Let me do something real quick. Y'all, I'm about to go do something real quick. Ooh, Bluey. Ooh. Oh no. Oh, it's a fan dub animation. I don't want y'all on my Google. Let's see. Okay. Ooh. I could do what? Ooh, you about to get snitched on. This man